Capital EC, tapos small e. Tama ba? DC, disese. Basta yung pagkasunod-sunod ni disese, huwag kayong malilito po doon. Unlike the ABO system, tuloy natin yung discussion, which naturally has antibodies like yung anti-A and antibody natin in individuals lacking the respective antigen. Anti-D does not develop naturally. Take note that anti-D is only produced upon exposure, especially when an Rh-negative person is sensitized to true blood transfusion or pregnancy with Rh-positive fetal cells. And the failure to correctly identify Rh status can result in HDFN and even hemolytic transfusion reactions. For the first question, why is it necessary to pre-warm the slide prior to its use? Take note, pre-warming the slide to 37 degrees Celsius before performing Rh typing enhances accuracy by first preventing cold agglutination. Cold-reacting antibodies like yung anti-capital I natin in cold agglutinin disease may cause false positive results if the test is conducted at lower temperatures. And improving antigen-antibody interaction, the D antigen is not as readily accessible as ABO antigens, and warming enhances binding of anti-D reagent to the antigen, improving now the agglutination visibility. It also prevents drying artifacts and false aggregation, as a cold slide may cause the saline or reagent to evaporate unevenly, and this will lead to artificial clumping, which can be misinterpreted as agglutination. For corrective action, always pre-warm the slide before testing to minimize false positive and false negative reactions. How is Rh typing serum prepared? Rh typing serum, also known as anti-D reagent, is commercially prepared containing anti-D antibodies that are either polyclonal or monoclonal. For the preparation of anti-D serum, polyclonal anti-D production, Rh-negative individuals are immunized with Rh-positive red cells to induce anti-D antibody production. Plasma from these donors is pooled, purified, and standardized for laboratory use. For the monoclonal anti-D production, it is prepared in modern laboratories. It uses your hybridoma technology where the murine B cells or the mouse cells are fused with myeloma cells, allowing continuous production of specific anti-D antibodies. These are then purified and formulated into a highly specific, stable reagent. Now, for the types of anti-D reagents used in clinical setting, first yung polyclonal anti-D natin, it is human-derived plasma antibodies. Advantages, it detects weak D, however, it may have batch variability. Hindi po ganun kaayos yung production po niya. May mga variations po sa manufacturing. For the monoclonal anti-D, specifically si IgM, it is murine-derived. It causes immediate agglutination, rapid results, and it is highly specific. However, in some cases, it may not detect weak D. For the monoclonal anti-D, IgG, it is murine-derived. It requires AHG test. It also detects weak or partial D. However, it requires additional testing. IgM anti-D, on the other hand, is used for routine slide or to tube testing for quick Rh status determination. Whereas si IgG anti-D natin, it is used for weak D testing with indirect antiglobulin test. Sa IAT po siya ginagamit. What is the importance of control in Rh typing? Ang ingay ng dumang motor. Alauna na nga ang ingay pa. Okay, what is the importance of a control in Rh typing? Take note, controls are critical in Rh typing to validate test results and detect errors that may lead to misinterpretation. What are the types of Rh controls and their purpose? First, yung autocontrol na tinatawag natin. For the composition, it contains patient's RBCs plus patient serum. The purpose of autocontrol is to detect auto-agglutination. Sabi nga, auto from self po yun. Another type of control is your reagent control. It is a control reagent without anti-D plus patient RBCs po siya. And it ensures test validity. Lastly, yung saline control natin, ito yung mostly ginagamit natin dyan sa UBCL. Normal saline lang po, plus patient's RBCs. The purpose of saline control is to identify Rulu formation. Why are controls important? It rules out false positive reactions since some RBCs may spontaneously agglutinate due to autoimmune hemolytic anemia or in the presence of cold agglutinins. Also, it detects reagent contamination. If the reagent itself causes agglutination without the presence of the antigen, this indicates contamination or improper reagent storage. For corrective action, always perform a control test alongside RH typing to prevent misdiagnosis. What is meant by the terms RH positive and RH negative? Pag sinabi nating RH positive, RBCs express the D antigen causing agglutination when mixed with the anti-D serum. Pag RH negative ka naman, you lack the D antigen, resulting in no agglutination with anti-D serum. For the clinical importance, RH positive individuals can receive RH positive blood without issues. And Rh negative individuals must avoid Rh positive transfusions to prevent sensitization and anti-D formation. For the causes of false positive and false negative Rh typing results and corrective actions, makikita nyo po lahat ng ito sa Harmening. Please review this po. Reviewin nyo po to. Effect of primary administration of Rh antibodies in hemolytic disease of the fetus and newborn. First, let us discuss paulit-ulit yung pathophysiology ng HDFN natin. Paano nagsisimula or ano yung mechanism ng HDFN natin? Diba, sabi natin, when an Rh negative mother is exposed to Rh positive fetal RBCs during pregnancy or delivery. After that, the mother develops anti-D antibodies via alloimmunization. And in subsequent pregnancy, this maternal anti-D crosses the placenta, leading now to fetal hemolysis, anemia, and even hyperbilirubinemia. The prevention is via the administration of RHIG or serogam natin. Rogam is administered to Rh negative mothers at what week of gestation? Kapag 28 weeks of gestation and within 72 hours postpartum if the newborn is Rh positive. Sabi din dito, yung Rh program natin, it binds to fetal RBCs, making them for clearance before maternal immune activation. This will now prevent the mother's immune system from recognizing Rh positive cells as foreign, thereby inhibiting anti-D formation. For clinical impact, it prevents HDFN in future pregnancies and it reduces maternal sensitization risk to less than 1%. Now, let us move on to experiment number 10. Uy, malapit na tayong matapos. Yung experiment 10 natin, it is test for weak D antigen or the DU variant. In standard Rh typing, the absence of agglutination in both slide and tube methods is not immediately reported as Rh negative. Some red blood cells exhibit a weak expression of the D antigen, which cannot be directly detected by many anti-D reagent. In such cases, we perform a test for weak D expression before making a final Rh classification. And take note, si AYAT po yung ginawa natin sa lab. It is the most reliable method for detecting weak D expressions. Now, let's address some key questions regarding this experiment. What is DU? The term DU refers to a weak expression of the D antigen on RBC membranes. It is now more accurately referred to as weak D. Individuals with this variant have the D antigen. However, it is expressed at low levels, making it difficult to detect without routine anti-D typing. Historically, si DU natin, DU positive individuals were classified as Rh negative. But since may advancement na po tayo, specifically dito sa immunohematology, some studies, most studies have already confirmed that weak D individuals should be classified as Rh positive due to their ability to elicit or invoke an anti-D immune response in Rh negative recipients. Why do we test for DU when weak or no reaction is obtained in RH typing? We perform a weak D test when we observe no agglutination or weak agglutination during RH typing. Also, discrepant RH results between different anti-D reagents. Newborn testing to prevent hemolytic disease of the fetus and newborn. And lastly, PAG, donor blood testing to prevent mismatched transfusions. Take note, without testing for weak D, an individual with weak D expression may incorrectly be classified as Rh negative, now leading to potential transfusion reactions if they later receive Rh positive blood. What is required to demonstrate the presence of cells carrying a weak D antigen? Take note, sabi ko nga kanina, to confirm a weak D expression, ayat po ang ginagamit natin. And the procedure includes incubating the patient's RBCs with anti-D reagent, washing the red cells to remove these unbound antibodies. After that, we add anti-human globulin, also known as Secum's reagent natin, and we observe for agglutination. Agglutination after the addition of AHG confirms the presence of weakly expressed D antigen, thus classifying the patient as Rh positive. Now, let us discuss the mechanism behind the existence of weak D antigen. Take note that weak D expression results from mutations in the RHD gene, leading to three main mechanisms. First, yung genetic weak D natin. It is caused by mutation in the RHD gene, reducing the number of D antigen sites on the RBC surface. Na-discuss na natin ito sa lecture nyo at makikita nyo lamang po to sa Harmening. Also, yung genetic weak D natin, it is common in individuals of what descent? European descent po, and is generally non-immunogenic, which means it does not provoke anti-D production. Now, for your partial D, it is due to structural alterations in the D antigen where some epitopes are missing. Individuals with partial D may develop anti-D antibodies when exposed to Rh positive blood. Lastly, positional effect. It occurs when C antigen is inherited in transposition. It is relative to the D antigen, leading to steric hindrance and reduced expression of the D antigen. For the importance of testing weak D in blood typing, compatibility testing, and transfusion, testing for weak D is essential in blood banking and transfusion medicine for several reasons. First, sa blood transfusion natin. Donors with weak D are classified as Rh positive or Rh negative. Ano guys? Kapag donors ang usapan, tapos positive sila sa weak D, they are classified as Rh positive. This prevents unnecessary exclusion from Rh positive blood donation. And recipients or mga pasyente naman natin with weak D, they are considered as Rh negative in some cases, especially in women of childbearing age to avoid alloimmunization. Also, bakit importante si weak D natin? In cases of HDFN naman, take note that weak D typing is critical in pregnant women to prevent HDFN due to maternal anti-desensitization. If a mother is Rh negative and the fetus has weak D, appropriate Rh immunoprophylaxis with the use of program must be considered. Also, testing for weak D prevents alloimmunization. Individuals with partial D may develop anti-D antibodies if transfused with Rh positive blood. Accurate weak D identification prevents misclassification and alloimmunization risk. And before we continue, may I remind you to review the factors affecting the antiglobulin test, the sources of false positive and negative results, basta mga nakatable po sa Harmening. Tignan nyo sa AHG, sa DAT, sa AYAT, may mga nakatable po doon, aralin po natin. Now, let us discuss the direct anti-human globulin, commonly known as direct Coombs test. This test is a fundamental procedure in immunohematology, and it is used to detect in vivo or in vitro sensitization. It is used to detect in vivo sensitization or coating of red blood cells with antibodies or complement components, maybe it your IgG and C3d. This test was originally described by Coombs, Morant, and Reyes in the 1940s, and they develop a method to detect non-agglutinating antibodies attached to RBCs, leading now to the development of the anti-human globulin test or the Coombs test. What is Coombs reagent and how is it prepared? Coombs reagent in anti-human globulin is a serum containing antibodies against human IgG and or C3 complete components. It is used to detect the presence of sensitized RBCs that are coated with these immune factors. For the preparation, pwede nating i-prepare ang AHG through polyclonal and monoclonal. Pag polyclonal, it is derived from immunized rabbit or goats producing now anti-IgG and anti-C3d. Huwag kakalimutan. Pag polyclonal, it contains both lagi, both IgG and anti-C3d. Pag monoclonal naman, it is produced using what technology? It is using your hybridoma technology to create specific anti-IgG or anti-C3 antibodies. However, meron din po tayong mga blended AHG na tinatawag in which there is a mixture of monoclonal and polyclonal components to enhance sensitivity. For the principle of direct anti-human globulin test, the DET detects in vivo sensitization of RBCs by IgG antibodies or complement components such as CC3D. And this occurs when an IgG antibody binds to RBCs, but that doesn't cause direct agglutination due to its monovalent nature. Also, kapag complement activation natin, it occurs depositing C3D on RBCs. For the procedure, patient RBCs are washed to remove unbound serum proteins. AHG reagent or the Coombs reagent is added to the washed RBCs. And if RBCs are coated with IgG or C3D, agglutination occurs indicating a positive DAT result. That's why sa previous laboratory natin, experiment, some of you sinabi dapat yung result nyo magkakaroon ng agglutination. And supposedly wala since hindi po sensitize yung mga RBCs ninyo. Wala naman tayong in vivo sensitization. Wala din tayong in vitro sensitization. Now, for the significance of that natin in clinical conditions, it is important in hemolytic transfusion reaction since HTRs can occur when a patient receives an incompatible transfusion, maybe it RH incompatible blood or ano pa ba, ABO incompatible blood. For the clinical relevance, it leads to hemolysis, fever, jaundice, hemoglobinuria, and shock. Also, ang DAT natin, masyado siyang mahalaga sa HDFN natin since dinedetect po niya yung maternal IgG antibodies that could cross the placenta and attack the fetal RBCs. Commonly, si anti-D po yung nakikita natin dito, pero pwede din si anti-K, capital K, or si anti-small c. For the clinical relevance, it can cause anemia, jaundice, hydrops and even kernicterus. Also, sa WAIHA naman natin, sa WAIHA, autoantibodies, typically IgG in nature, target self-RBCs, leading now to extravascular hemolysis. For paroxysmal cold hemoglobinuria, for the pathogenesis, it is the biphasic Donat-Landsteiner antibody, specifically IgG po tong Donat-Landsteiner antibody na po ito. It binds sa RBCs at cold temperatures and fixes the complement, therefore causing hemolysis at warmer temperature. Next, si cold agglutinin disease natin. IgM antibodies bind to RBCs at cold temperature, therefore activating the complement and leading to intravascular hemolysis. For the graft versus host disease, the donor T cells attack recipient tissues, including hematopoietic cells. For transfusion-associated graft versus host disease, it occurs when transfused donor T cells proliferate and attack the recipient's immune system. That finding natin dito, positive in severe hemolysis. Now, the clinical relevance, highly fatal, presenting as fever, rash, diarrhea, and pancytopenia. Now, let us discuss the purpose of elution and absorption. Pag sinabi nating elution, it is used to dissociate IgG antibodies from sensitize RBCs, and identify the antibody. It is essential for HDFN, WIHA, transfusion reactions to determine the causative antibody. Ang adsorption naman, it is used to remove unwanted antibodies from serum by incubating with target RBCs. Application, it differentiates autoantibodies from antibodies in autoimmune hemolytic anemia. Now, let us discuss the methods based on elution and absorption. Wait lang po, guys. Now, for the methods based on elution and absorption, under elution techniques, we have several methods. First, yung most commonly ginagamit natin, yung heat elution, or the 56 degrees Celsius method. It denatures IgG, freeing it from RBCs. Pwede din yung freeze-thaw elution natin. Freeze-thaw elution, RBCs are frozen and thawed to release antibodies. Acid elution, it uses glycine or citric acid to strip IgG from RBCs. And lastly, yung organic solvent elution natin, either in which gumagamit tayo ng ether, chloroform, and xylene. These dissolve lipid membranes to release antibodies. Under adsorption techniques naman, autoabsorption, patient RBCs are used to remove autoantibodies. Alloadsorption, it uses known antigen negative RBCs to remove specific alloantibodies. And lastly naman yung differential adsorption, in which multiple RBC samples with different antigen profiles are used to isolate specific antibodies. And last topic for this night is, for this madaling araw pala, since madaling araw ko po itong nirecord, is yung ayat natin. Before we begin, let's recall the direct anti-human globulin test. It detects in vivo sensitization of red blood cells. And in contrast, si ayat naman, it is used to detect in vitro antigen interactions that do not result in immediate agglutination but can be observed after enhancement and washing steps. Now, for the principle of the indirect anti-globulin test, the ayat is designed to detect free antibodies in serum or plasma that react with RBCs but do not cause direct agglutination. Huwag malilito. Detect free antibodies or in vitro po yung tinutukoy po nito. Wait lang po. Now, this step-by-step principle. First, yung incubation natin. Under incubation, patient's serum or plasma is incubated with reagent RBCs expressing relevant antigens. If the patient has unexpected antibodies, maybe it yung anti-capital K, anti-capital E, and anti-D, they will bind to corresponding antigens on the RBCs. After that, nagpe-perform po tayo ng washing. The RBCs are washed 3 to 4 times with saline to remove unbound antibodies. Washing prevents interference from free serum globulins, which may neutralize the AHG reagent. After that, we add your AHG or the Coombs reagent to the washed RBCs. And if the RBCs are coated with antibodies, the AHG reagent will bridge them, leading to a visible agglutination. Kapag positive po yung ayat natin, there is a presence of agglutination. And kapag negative naman po, no agglutination. Uses of indirect anti-human globulin test. Ang ayat, ginagamit natin yan sa antibody screening, antibody identification, weekly testing, and even sa cross-matching natin. And ito din, yung sources of error in anti-globulin testing and corrective actions. Basahin po natin to sa Harmony since naka-table na po ito doon, guys. Good luck sa exam nyo. Sana lahat pumasa and lahat ay gagalingan. Bye, guys.